Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and it's still Micro Machine March, so today we're looking at the Star Trek Micro Machines Romulan Warbird. Now this ship was first seen in the television show Star Trek The Next Generation, one of my favorites. I actually met Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Stewart, and they were pretty cool. Patrick Stewart even shook my hand, great guy, very nice. But anywho, this ship has a couple names in various episodes, but it's mostly known as either the Romulan Warbird, the Warbird class, or the Derderdrix class cruiser. Now, each one is okay. I know it's actually called the Romulan Warbird, or the Derderdrix. I never heard of it called a Warbird class except for one or two episodes in Trek, but it's all good. Now, this is the main ship in the Romulan Star Empire, also used by the Tal Shiar. For its weapons, it uses torpedoes, disruptor cannons, and also disruptor beams on the bottom and in the front. And what's neat is, if you play Star Trek Online, all these ships and, I believe, the Borg have plasma weapons. Well, you can mod your ships any way you want. But I always thought they had plasma after playing that for so long. But then, after watching Star Trek over and over again, yeah, they had plasma torpedoes or whatever. But as the show went on, they never really used them again. So, I don't know. But they do have disruptors. And if you play Star Trek Online, let me know in the comments below. I would be interested in playing with some of you if you guys have it. It's a free-to-play game, and you could have a ship or go on ground missions. I like fighting the Borg, I don't know. So, it is a very neat-looking ship. For the size of this, it's a little over 2 3/4 inches long, so it's a nice, big, long ship. Very cool. So we have a lot to talk about. We got a great mold. The paint's pretty clean. So let's get right to the review. And here we have a great looking model of the Romulan Warbird. Now I want to start with two little sections here. This piece right here is not really in all the way, and I tried to fix it, but it is glued. The glue must have pushed it out. And this section here is raised up. Again, that is a glue problem. But, it's sturdy. I could squeeze the hell out of this and it's not bending. So, not a big deal, I just wanted to point it out. Nice detail. Look at all that lines, this little eyepiece. I'll always love that. And doesn't this look like a parrot? Like, picture those as eyes and then you have the beak. I don't know, maybe it's me. And I always love this section here, how it has a bunch of lines, looks like a radiator, this dark green section. The underneath has like a staircase thing going on. Very cool. Now, right here is the forward weapons, and I would have loved if they would have had the Romulan crest right here. And they could have done it, because here on the medical ship, look at how small that is. Come on, that could have been the Romulan crest. Cheap! But anyway, moving on up. Nice detail going down here. Here is engineering. And a little fun fact, even though this does go to warp like other ships in the Star Trek universe, it doesn't really have a warp core. What it has is the quantum singularity, which, yep, it's a black hole. So the ships run on black holes. How awesome is that? Now check out the wing detail on here. And it looks just like an eagle wing. Like, yes, it is wings of the ship, but look at that, great lines and details. Beautiful. I love these sections here. Just fantastic. Now coming to the back of the ship, we have our shuttle bay, impulse engines. Coming to the bottom, we have our peg port, and more of this beautiful detail. Fantastic. Two little sections right there. Great. Then we have our warp nacelles. And now there is a lot of detail on the inside, so let me try and light that up, and I'll show you. Okay, it's hard for me to get in there, but this is the best I could get. I have all my lights on it, and even a light for the phone. You can see some great lines and details. I always like this section here. And in the show, this pipe section here isn't there. It's all hollow. Which is pretty awesome, and the copyright's in there as well. And then here we have the top of the ship. Well, the underneath of the top. Again, lots of great detail in there. Awesome. Just a really cool looking ship. So now we're done with the mold, let's take a look at the paint. For the paint, we only have a handful of colors. The first color is this nice mint green. And that is the main color, and I always loved that. I think it came out really good. The second is a dark green, and we could see that on the wings. These sections here that go down, right here by the impulse engines, on the bottom of the wing, and in back of the head on this radiator piece. I know it's not a radiator, but I just keep calling it that. Now we also have some yellow on these pieces here, and here, on the back of the ship, and also on the bottom. And finally, we have blue, which is probably the worst paint of the ship. Okay, I tried to get a nice shot of this dodgy paint for the warp nacelle. And you could just see it, it's like spotted. And then on the inside over here, you can see through the crevice, that is actually done pretty decent. There is a gap right there, but that's just from the mold. And right here, it's also painted a little wacky. And then on the interior, the same thing. We got little spots, and then the rest is painted pretty good. In the show, the engines aren't blue. They are lime green or neon green. Now, I guess they had too much green, so they decided to go with a darker, different color to, I guess, even it out. I don't know. To me, it looks okay anyway, but I would have preferred a green in there. But these are the only issues I have with this whole ship, with the paint. Just a very dodgy job, I guess you could say. I don't know, it is what it is, but that's the only paint issue I have. Besides that, the paint is clean on the rest of this. From the little yellow dots to the dark green and then the mint color on the outside. Just a good job besides those engines. So let's get this bad boy on a stand, we'll compare it, and then we'll be done for today. Just like other micro machines from the era, it comes with a translucent stand. Just peg it in the port like so, and you're good to go. To compare it to Romulan Warbird, I have it next to its arch enemy, the USS Enterprise D. Very cool ships, not to scale, this thing is way bigger than this ship. That does it for my review today of the Star Trek Micro Machines Romulan Warbird. Now, I love this ship a lot, and I could talk about this thing for hours, but, you know, I have to do 31 reviews, so I'm trying to keep everything as condensed as possible. But trust me, when I do the Eagle Moss reviews, this ship will be on full blast. I love these things. So anywho, like I said, this is the Romulan Warbird. Now you can buy this on eBay or Amazon or other third-party sellers. They do not make it anymore. However, you could get the collector set, which comes with like 20 some odd ships. This is one of them. I believe it's collector set number 1. You could also get a couple 3-packs that have this in it. So it is easy to find, and you could grab it pretty quick if you wanted to. Now, do I recommend this? If you're a fan of the Next Generation, if you're a fan of the Romulans, go for it. It is very detailed, and it is nice. Now, like I mentioned before, we have some great detail, and besides these dodgy engines, the paint is pretty damn good. No leaks or smears, anything, everything's good. Just these, even the interiors of the engines are done pretty well. It's the outsides here and the interior of the outsides there. And that's all I have to say about that. A beautiful ship and a beautiful toy. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, smash that like and subscribe button for new reviews every Thursday. And remember, it's Micro Machine March, so every day this March 2017, we'll be looking at a new ship or some sort of Micro Machine video. So thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.